On the cold, unforgiving streets of the city, where the cacophony of honking cars and bustling crowds drowned out almost everything else, there lived a boy named Leo. At just 12 years old, Leo's life was anything but easy. His clothes were torn, his shoes worn thin, and his stomach often grumbled with hunger. Yet, amid all this hardship, Leo carried a spark of kindness that would soon ignite a chain of events no one could have foreseen. Every day, Leo sat by the entrance of a grand hotel, holding out a small cup to passers-by, hoping for spare change. Most people hurried past, too busy to notice the small figure on the pavement, but Leo never lost hope. He believed that even the smallest act of kindness could one day change his fate. One chilly evening, as the sun dipped behind the skyscrapers and the city lights flickered on, a man stepped out of the hotel's revolving doors. This man was Edward Carlton, a wealthy businessman known for his sharp mind, cold demeanor, and an empire built on hard decisions and tougher deals. Edward's life was one of luxury and power, but he carried with him a deep loneliness no amount of money could fill. As Edward walked toward his sleek black car, he noticed Leo struggling to lift a frail old dog, tangled in a dirty leash and trembling with fear. The dog had apparently been abandoned nearby, caught in a patch of thorny bushes. Most people would have passed by, but something stopped Edward. Without thinking, Edward stepped closer. "Let me help," he said, kneeling beside the boy. Together, they gently untangled the leash, calming the frightened animal. Leo looked up at Edward, his eyes wide with gratitude. "Thank you, sir. He's been lost and scared for days." "I couldn't just leave him there." Edward felt a strange warmth spread through his chest. "You have a good heart, Leo. Not many would stop to help." Leo shrugged, trying to hide his swelling pride. "I try to do what's right, even when things are hard." Edward smiled, then asked, "Do you have a place to stay tonight?" The boy hesitated, then shook his head. "No, sir. I sleep wherever I can. Sometimes on the streets, sometimes in an old shelter." Edward's gaze darkened, and an idea sparked in his mind. "Come with me," he said, surprising himself as much as Leo. Inside the car, Edward drove quietly, the city lights blurring past. They arrived at a small, cozy apartment Edward owned but rarely used. It was modest, a stark contrast to his usual penthouse, but warm and inviting. "You can stay here for as long as you need," Edward said, unlocking the door. Leo stepped inside cautiously, eyes wide with disbelief. That night marked the beginning of an unlikely friendship. Edward began to learn about Leo's life, the hardships, the losses, the loneliness. And Leo learned that beneath Edward's hard exterior was a man desperate for connection and meaning. Weeks passed, and Edward found himself changed. Inspired by Leo's kindness and resilience, he started volunteering at shelters and helping other homeless children. He used his wealth not just to grow his empire, but to build a foundation that supported those who had been forgotten by society. One day, as Leo helped Edward organize donations, Edward asked, "Why do you keep helping others when you have so little yourself?" Leo paused, then said, "Because one day, someone helped me when I needed it most, and I want to do the same for others." Kindness isn't about how much you have, it's about what you give. Edward nodded, feeling a deep respect for the boy. "You've taught me more than I ever could have imagined." Years later, Leo graduated from school and began working alongside Edward, not as a beggar boy, but as a trusted partner and friend. Their journey from a chance encounter on the street to a life of shared purpose was a testament to the power of compassion and the incredible ways a single good deed can change lives forever. And as for Edward, the lonely businessman who thought he had everything, he realized that what he had truly gained was a family and a purpose far greater than any fortune. All because a beggar boy reached out with kindness and changed his life forever.